Hi, welcome back to my channel. Guess what I'm doing again? Talking about attraction. This is a shocking and new topic for me, and if you're interested in attraction and whatnot, you should probably subscribe to my channel because I do make videos about it. Anyway, this video is about sex appeal, and I'm going to do my very best to bring some actual science facts into it, but to be completely honest with you, I think part of what makes this topic so much fun to talk about is that I really do not think there is any way for science to explain sex appeal. I don't even think there's a real answer as to what sex appeal is. So I think this video is maybe going to be more of a little chit chat, Katie thoughts video. Hence the return of the unplugged in microphone. So what is sex appeal, huh? I think it's such a hard thing to describe because a lot of people equate it with being physically pleasing on the eye. And I truly do not think that sex appeal is necessarily about being physically attractive. I know many people that maybe wouldn't be considered conventionally attractive but have just insane amounts of sex appeal. And also a lot of people who are just ridiculously attractive and yet do not have an inch of sex appeal. So why does this happen? What is it? Where does it come from? How is it created? Can it be created? These are the real questions that keep me up at night. Okay, I really wanted to look up some actual proper research on this, but unfortunately 90% of the research using the word sex appeal are actually just talking about being hot, and also are entirely based in evolutionary theory. Which, like, yeah, okay, 90% of psychology is based in evolutionary theory, but also the language used just has not been updated at all since Charles Darwin wrote his little book. So sometimes when I talk about it and read about it, I feel like a little bit iffy. Much of this is not my opinion, it is some guys. Anyway, let's talk about it. So the main point that it always comes back to is that essentially what we find sexy is people who look like they would be super duper good at having kids for us. See? Already with the questionable content. So this is stuff like your body build and your weight distribution and the waist to hip ratios and the facial symmetry. And honestly, there are so many things. Like, the list is long. There is a long list of things that people have found that makes people rate others as more attractive. But I genuinely do not believe that being attractive is necessarily related to sex appeal. So if you want to know more about what science says makes people attractive, boy oh boy, I can do a video on that. I can tell you. But not today. Because, like, sure, the stuff explains why people like Marilyn Monroe, and I'm trying so hard to think of like a conventionally sexy man, but no one is coming. Anyway, it maybe explains why people like that could have sex appeal, but there are so many people who tick all of the boxes of looking very fertile and still have absolutely no sex appeal whatsoever. I'm trying to think of some examples here, but it feels very mean to either say that someone is hot but has no sex appeal, and also to say that they have sex appeal but are not hot. Okay, I'm gonna use Emma Stone as an example. I am so sorry, Emma. I know you're never gonna see this, but I'm still sorry. So Emma Stone is objectively very attractive. But would anyone say she has sex appeal? Maybe it's something to do with the characters that she plays, or maybe the fact that she has this persona of being like really funny and kind of goofy. I don't think any of these things necessarily mean you don't have sex appeal. I'm sure you can be very awkward and have a bunch of sex appeal. Like, you see it in weird little YouTube guys. Okay, this example thing is not being very helpful. I'm just thinking about Emma Stone because I love Easy A, and that's going to be my Halloween costume next week. That character is very relatable to me, because I know for an absolute fact that I have literally zero sex appeal. Whatever it is that gives people sex appeal, I just wasn't born with it. It just didn't happen for me. Okay, for some reason, I'm as sexless as a bagel feels like a saying to me. But also I have absolutely no idea where I would have heard that as a saying, but I am quite sure I didn't just make this up. Like, sexless bagels. Please let me know if that's a thing that you've heard, because I know I've heard it somewhere. But also, to be fair, if I was going to pick a food to call sexless, a bagel is the last one that I would choose. As far as foods with sex appeal, bagels are kind of coming in top of the list for reasons I don't think I need to say. Anyway, what was I in the middle of saying? I'm as sexless as a bagel. That's what I was saying. And how do I know this? How do I know this for an absolute fact and absolute certainty? I just do. I can just tell. It's just something that you know about a person. Do I know why my life had to be this way? No. Maybe it's something to do with the accent though. I do not think it is possible to have a New Zealand accent and also have sex appeal. Okay, no, I've just thought of an example. It's not even about real people. If you've ever seen the show The 100, which is on my mind because I'm rewatching it right now, great show. Of the like main characters, Bellamy, very attractive boy. Zero sex appeal. Absolutely none. Clark, so much sex appeal for some reason. I swear I've just been watching the show, and every time she is having a conversation with someone, I'm just like, why does it feel like they're about to kiss? Every single conversation, just sexual tension. How does she do it? That is such a talent. John Murphy, sex appeal, a bunch of it. Maybe it's because he's evil. Does being evil give you sex appeal? And does that mean being nice means you have no sex appeal? Like, I don't think that that's true. But I'm also trying really hard to think of someone who is nice and also has sex appeal. I'm useless at this thinking thing. It's just not happening for me. If you can think of someone nice with sex appeal, please go and leave it in the comments down below right now. Because I know there are nice people with sex appeal, I'm sure of it. Also, while you're down there in the comments, hit the like button if you're liking the video, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet, because I really wish you would. Anyway, what was I talking about? This video was such a mess. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm so sorry. Okay, I am gonna go back to a reason why I think evolutionary theory maybe isn't quite right about sex appeal, and that is the fact that evolutionary theory would kind of suggest that people who are androgynous don't have sex appeal, because apparently sexual dimorphism is one of the most attractive things that a person can have, and that essentially just means looking either really super feminine or really super masculine. And I mean to say that anyone who's androgynous doesn't have sex appeal is just like very objectively not true. Like, who's the person from, I feel like the latest seasons of Orange is the New Black, whose basically entire personality and character is literally just having sex appeal? Explain that one, Charles Darwin. Actually, I do wonder if there's like a generational difference here. That would be something kind of interesting to find out, wouldn't it? Moving on though, another question that I have that I would love to know the answer to is whether sex appeal is something that you can like create or get rid of, or if it's just something that you either have or you don't have. I'm slightly more inclined towards believing that you either just have it or you don't. To be fair, I do really quite want to believe that it is something that you can create more of in yourself, but I just don't know. So if you Google how to have sex appeal, do not ask me if I've ever done this, the main thing that the internet says is to be more confident. Silly point. I just do not think that confidence gives you sex appeal. Okay, here's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to Google how to have sex appeal and see what it says, because what the fuck else am I doing with this video? But then after I do that, I'm going to talk about sex robots, because I don't think they have any sex appeal, even though that is literally what they're designed for. Alright, so in terms of creating sex appeal, the internet says smell is one. Don't buy it at all. Maybe this could contribute to wanting people when you meet them in person, but I don't know what any of these celebrities with super duper sex appeal smell like, so this one is getting a no. The next one is a person's voice. I buy this one more, I think, and I also think that there's probably more like scientific evidence to back it up, but a lot of that is kind of related to when during your menstrual cycle your voice is the most sexy, which no points for guessing when it is, when you're ovulating, shock, surprise. That's just generally the point when you're sexy. But aside from this, I do definitely think there's some validity to the idea that a person's voice contributes to their sex appeal. Like, there is just something about people who talk kind of slow that is so, you know what I mean? Like, there's just, it does something, okay? There's something about it. There's just something about slow talkers that is the absolute definition of sex appeal. Maybe that's one of the reasons that I don't have any sex appeal, is that I talk way too fast. Plus, I'm always kind of confused about what I'm saying, so I don't really talk with any like firmness or certainty, which I'm sure is probably something people find sexy. Also, again, in terms of voice, accents makes a huge difference. Some accents have sex appeal, some accents do not. I've already said that the New Zealand accent is so sexually unappealing. I'm gonna throw the Australians in there as well, because I think that I need to. Okay, has anyone ever seen the Australian Love Island? There is not one singular ounce of sex appeal inside that entire villa. And these are all extremely attractive people. It's Love Island, but there's no sex appeal. Nothing. Also, actually, can someone who's watched the Australian Love Island please confirm for me whether or not I'm right about how weird the vibes are in it? Like, there is genuinely nothing sexy going on at all. Like, there's no way this is just me who thinks this. So please let me know. Okay, the next point is financial stability. Silly point. We have all seen rich men. Yuck. I feel like this is what the author of 50 Shades of Grey was maybe trying to do with Christian Grey. It clearly didn't work, because that man has negative sex appeal. He has the complete opposite. He literally has sex unappeal. So immediately this one, financial stability, is getting a I don't think that that's relevant from me. The next point is kissing. Well, I don't think you can just go around kissing everyone to check whether or not they have sex appeal, so this point, bad. Also, I'm so certain that you can be a really good kisser with absolutely no sex appeal. And also, I think you can be a really bad kisser with an insane amount of sex appeal. Because maybe you were just so sexually appealing that you never had to learn how to be a good kisser. True. Maybe having sex appeal is a bad thing. Anyway, that's the list. Thank you, Oprah.com. I do not even want to read the next one from The Gentleman's Journal. Looking very Andrew Tate-ish. Confidence, control, the look of lust. Yeah, we don't even need to talk about this article actually. But definitely in my head, the only people who act the way this article is recommending are for certain the least sexy people you've ever met in your life. Anyway, that's enough from the internet. I want to talk about sex robots. Also, I am going to do a video on sex robots, I think, because I've just written an essay on them and have decided that sex robots are currently the most interesting thing in the world to me. I just think it's cool how they are literally designed to have sex appeal, right? It's in the name, it's what they're for. They are built with all of the features that evolutionary theory suggests should be super attractive. They're designed with the right waist to hip ratio and all of the super nice proportions or whatever, but they don't have any sex appeal, right? I think the only people who believe that sex robots actually have sex appeal need to go touch grass because they're robots. Anyway, I do know that there's obviously like more going on with like uncanny valley stuff or whatever, but I do think at some point they're gonna be able to make robots that are so realistic looking that I don't know if you'd be able to tell the difference. And no matter how realistic they look or how realistic they feel, I don't think they're gonna have sex appeal. I feel really nervous saying this actually. I don't like to say mean things about robots because I know in my heart and my head and my soul that the robots are coming. I mean, these ones quite literally, that's a feature that some of them have. But no, robots are they're gonna come and they're gonna take us out. And this is why I always say thank you to Siri whenever I ask her anything. So let's just hope none of them see these videos. Anyway, what was I saying before I got scared? I'm not sure what I was saying. But a thought is kind of forming in my head right now, and it's something to do with the fact that robots, they can't want you back. Like, you know that a robot's never gonna want you back, and I wonder if that has something to do with sex appeal. Like, there's something unsexy about that, right? Knowing that a robot doesn't want you, there is definitely something sexy about the potential for someone to no, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what this has to do with anything. Never mind. That explains nothing. I've clearly got to learn how to shut up. Speaking of shutting up, I'll do that now, I think. Please leave a comment saying something coherent. Do you think sex appeal is real? Do you think it is something objective or individual? Do you think that you can make it if you don't have it? And if you do have it, do you think that you can do something so unsexy that you make it disappear? Anyway, I'm sorry about this video. This is what happens when I don't think. Did I even answer the question that the video is about? No. Did I convey any useful information at all? Also, no. Did I waste however many minutes of your time you've spent watching this video? No, of course not. You're really happy to be here and you had fun and you've liked the video and subscribed to my channel. My other videos make more sense. Please go and watch one or two of them to get this video out of your head. Okay, love you, bye.